remains are buried or cremated, with families never to know where their loved one was. And if DNA isn't taken, police could be looking for criminals when that criminal could be dead and his remains in the medical examiner's office. So if the DNA is taken, they would know if that was the criminal or not. And also the new NAMES program. This really should be taught to every police officer. It's a new program. It comes in two parts. It's on the missing person side and the identify us side. And it's kind of like an NCIC report, except the public gets access to it. And there's a lot of times where you could go on and look at the NAMES program and maybe match up the unidentified with the missing person. There's a lot of things that have to be accomplished, and I suppose my life has changed forever, and I really believe that some things happen for a reason. And thanks to my husband, he puts up a lot, but I'm not stopping, and I hope that you encourage to pass HB 6563 unamended. It's already passed two committees, and it's on its way to the floor. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Janice. Our next speaker is Robin McKellen. She's the founder and current executive director of Colors Incorporated, Sexual Minority Youth and Family Services, a nonprofit organization that works to create a world where youth, adults, and families of all sexual orientation and gender identities are valued and affirmed. Please help me welcome her.
Of course, when I stand behind here, usually you can only see about this much. As Danielle said, as you said, my name is Robin McKellen. I'm the executive director of True Colors. We do education and advocacy for gay, lesbian, bisexual, transgender, intersex, queer questioning, two-spirit, same-gender loving, pansexual, flexual, not straight, not labeling, straight-ish, hetero-flexible, multisexual, gender-bending, gender blending, and other sexual minority youth. We work with young people. And young people, part of their job is to push the envelope. I want to start, though, because they asked me here to really represent those people who have been targeted for assault, violence, and murder on the basis of their actual or presumed sexual orientation or gender identity and expression. And so I wanted to start by reading the names of people who've been killed since last year when we met to have this conversation. Willie Escobar, 41. Eric Mohat, 17. Angie Zapata, 18. Ebony Whitaker, 20. Tish Cannon, 22. Nakia Williams, no age available. Lawrence King, 15. Taisha Elsie, 34. Michael Hunt, 22. Spencer Voigt, 19. George Weber, 47. Roberto Duncanson, 20. Simi Williams, 17. Abraham Biggs Jr., 19. Duana Johnson, 43. And just a couple of weeks ago, Carl Joseph Walker Hoover, 11, who was killed. Carl Joseph Walker Hoover actually killed himself on the basis of the amount of harassment and abuse that he was receiving. At 11, we don't have any idea if this child knew or was gay or bisexual. Nobody really knows. He never identified as a gay kid, but people targeted him as a gay kid, both at school and on the internet. And at 11 years old, the pain was such that he decided life wasn't worth going on. And as an 11-year-old, he hung himself. So he's one of the people that I'm here to represent. You'll hear stories later from additional people who are directly touched and who have directly been experienced become victims of the kind of violence that goes on. But those of us who do this work as educators and advocates are touched by the violence every day, not so much from members of our family, but from members of our human family. And whoever does to one of us, the least of us, does to all of us. And so I just wanted to take a minute to remember these folks and to bring them into the room for this conversation as well.
Thank you. Our next speaker is Anna Petrisky. She's a survivor of homicide. Anna lost her best friend, Tiana, on Valentine's Day this year when her boyfriend took Tiana's life at her apartment. Anna hopes to be able to set up a foundation that would get women going through domestic violence a camera to put outside their home to ensure their safety. Please help me welcome Anna.
Hi, my name is Anna Petrisky. I am a member of Survivors of Homicide, and I'm here today to talk about the things that I have learned since the brutal murder of my best friend. My best friend, Tiana Angelique Notice, was 25 years old. We shared the same birthday of February 4th. At the time of her death, she was earning her master's degree at the University of Hartford. On February 14th of this year, 10 days after we celebrated another year of our lives together, her ex-boyfriend stabbed her over 20 times just after she got done dropping me off at my house. I need to live with this. However, it won't be in vain. I cannot get into the details of Tiana's murder due to a pending trial, but I can tell you that she obtained a restraining order a little over a month before she was killed. She went to 3 different police departments. And she had her faith in God that the system would work for her in her favor. However, the night before she was killed, she sought help from a police department, and after another unsuccessful attempt to prove that the restraining order was being violated, she stated on the morning of her death, she said, "What does he have to do, kill me before they do anything?" And for her, the answer was yes. However, I am devoting my life to help prevent more cases like Tiana's. She wasn't the first, nor is she going to be the last to be killed while a restraining order was in place. That is why her family has started a foundation in her name. The Tiana Notice Foundation has many objectives, and it is changing the system that had failed her. One of those objectives is to install a camera in homes of those that are having a restraining order violated, therefore allowing proof to be shown to the police departments, the same proof that may have saved Tiana's life. Tiana had a camera installed in her apartment, and it was recording the night that she was killed. If you can please make a donation to the Tiana Notice Foundation to help start saving lives, you can at the tiananoticefoundation.org. It would be greatly appreciated, and thank you, and God bless.
Thank you, Anna. Our next speaker is Shirley Banks. Shirley Banks lost both of her daughters to gun violence. She is a member of Survivors of Homicide. Please help me welcome her.
You have to